Hey everybody, and welcome to the Draft League is back, guys. But it's a little bit different, so it's not going to be quite the same. It's not a monotype draft league anymore. Lots of things happened. The server got deleted, and basically, we ended up with only enough people to do, because there were multiple draft leagues running at the same time. We ended up with only enough people to do one draft league. So we all decided to just do a regular VGC draft league because that was gonna appeal to the most of us, right? So here we are. It's a regular VGC draft league. We're still the Arctovish Athletic Department. So I'm still gonna introduce y'all to Arctovish Athletic Department. If you like VGC draft content, please leave a like on my video. Please leave me a comment. Tell me. Rate my draft. Give me a rating 1 through 10, and tell me what you would change, because, I still have time to change things, and if I like your suggestion, it might just happen, And then if you like VGC draft content, subscribe. I'm going to be playing through the draft league here the next, 8 weeks or something like that. 9 weeks with the playoffs, maybe. I don't know how, how long exactly it is, but I think it's 9 weeks. So, yeah. We're just going to talk about the Pokemon that I drafted today. Here's my list. We had 250? Yeah, I think we had 250 points to draft 11 Mons. And I can actually pull up the tier list. Hold on. Let me see. If y'all would just so y'all can see it a little bit here. Here's the tier list. It was, like this. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's really, just so you can read it really fast. If you want to pause and read everything, you can. So that's the tier list. As you can see, we all ended up drafting really high tier Pokemon. And I think that's mostly because there just aren't that many people in the league. I think it's only 8 people, so it'll be an 8-week league. Which means that we were all able to get really good picks, so we all have pretty solid teams, which I don't think is a bad team. It's going to make it a lot harder to play against stuff. But I did end up having some of my picks taken. I'll talk about that as we go through. So the first Mon we got here, my first draft pick was Colossal. And obviously, I make a lot of Colossal teams. I play a lot of Colossal teams. I'm very comfortable with Colossal. That's why I drafted it. And it is more versatile than people give it credit for, because you don't have to run weakness policy. I've tooled around with Power Herb Meteor Beam, and you just surf and then Meteor Beam on turn 1. It's pretty interesting. You have Steam Engine, but you also have the option of running Flame Body or Flame Body or Flash Fire if you want to run a support Colossal. What does a support Colossal look like, you might be asking yourself? Well, you get Will-O-Wisp. You get Spikes. You get Stealth Rock. What else do we get here? We have our signature move here, Tar Shot, which is very hard to pull off in a VGC setting. I've noticed. I've tried it. I really wanted to make that Tar Shot Colossal team that Moxie Boosted didn't make, because I commented publicly on this thing that I would. I'm still working on it. If it works out, it works out. I'll post it. But it's very hard to pull off when you're setting up Steam Engine. But Tar Shot, is a really good move, just not for Colossal, if that makes sense. Basically, you lower their speed by one stage, and you give them a weakness to fire, which is kind of great. You know what I mean? But yeah, Colossal's got a lot of options. I love Colossal. Gmax vocal lit damage is busted. Steam Engine is busted. If they ever give it to another Pokemon with other options, it's gonna be nuts. Next Pokemon I drafted, my draft round 2 pick. They let me draft Urshafu Water, guys. What were they thinking? So basically, Urshafu is one of the best partners for Colossal. It has Aqua Jet, as well as being a very, very strong attacker. With Surging Strikes, you can ignore any stat boost that your opponent has, because it's always a critical hit. You also ignore Light Screen, Reflect, stuff like that. And Urshafu has a lot of options here. The most standard set is just Aqua Jet, Surging Strikes, Attack, Close Combat, but in a draft league, we might need to use it for other stuff. I think if we ran Counter with our Focus Sash, that'd be hilarious. We could also, I believe we get Mach Punch. Unless I'm blind. Mach Punch? We don't get Mach Punch? Wait a minute. Do we really not? Why don't we get a Mach Punch? That's kind of dumb. Hold on, I gotta look for it. I gotta make sure. We don't get Mach Punch. I really thought that Urshafu got Mach Punch, but that's okay. Still really good for setting up Colossal. I believe that Urshafu gets coaching, maybe? What does Urshafu get? Yeah, Urshafu gets coaching. It also gets helping hand, I think. Yeah, Urshafu gets coaching and helping hand, so that could be kind of fun if we need it. We also get scary face. I don't know if that'll ever come in handy, but it does get some neat support moves that we can take advantage of. So my third round pick was about to be Dragapult. Straight up, I was about to get Colossal, Urshafu, and Dragapult, and the guy that drafted right before me was like, he like straight up like got in the chat, and he was like, "Hey, I'm stuck on what I want to draft. I'm thinking about drafting this one thing that I really, really want, but I think I'm going to draft Dragapult instead." And I think it was partially just to make sure that he got it because he figured I would draft it next, and it was partially because he really just wanted the Dragapult. But still, like, man, I almost got Dragapult, Urshafu, and Colossal. That would have been great. So I drafted Rillaboom instead, which is honestly a really good get. Standard set of Rillaboom, Grassy Glide, Fake Out, High Horsepower Knockoff. This is the standard set I run all the time. You get your Grassy Terrain up with your Grassy Surge, and Grassy Glide is just a fantastic move. Now, Rillaboom also gets some interesting moves. It gets Taunt, I know for sure. And then it gets Leech Seed. I've seen Leech Seed Rillaboom. You get Swords Dance. We can run like a Swords Dance thing. I don't think we have any redirection other than Ally Switch, but you know, it's there. Woodhammer is really good. We can run some Frenzy Plant shenanigans. Not Frenzy Plant. The one that I want is Worry Seed's a cool move. Sunny Day we get for some reason. Solar Blade? That's funny. It also gets Scary Face. So many things learn Scary Face. We get like the starter moves, the ones that combine. So like maybe, I don't think we draft another starter, but we can always trade for one if we need to. And there are a couple of Pokemon other than starters that get them. So, you know, we got options here. My next draft pick was a mistake. I wanted to draft Arctovish, and you know, there's nothing wrong with drafting Arctovish. I wanted it really bad. The problem is with the order that I drafted in. I originally wanted to draft Alolan Ninetales. As you can see, I drafted Vanillux, so I didn't draft Alolan Ninetales. I drafted Arctovish, and the person right after me drafted Alolan Ninetales, and I was like, man, I should have drafted Ninetales first. But you know, you live and you learn a little bit. I'll do better next time. We got Arctovish. We had to draft a team mascot. We got the shiny one that we can use. Arctovish has a lot of options here. Slush Rush is what we're going to use a lot of the time. But our first round matchup is against a rain team. So we might just run like bulky water absorb Arctovish and just, you know what I mean? Because they really aren't going to be able to do a whole lot to it. So yeah, that might be really fun. In addition to Vicious Rend, which is one of the most busted moves in the game, we get Psychic Feigns, which breaks screens. We get Icicle Crash. Ice Coverage is always really good. We get Freeze Dry, which hits water types for super effective and is stab. So if we run bulky water absorb Freeze Dry Arctovish, we might be in a kind of a good place against that rain team that we're playing next week. It also gets like Rock Slide, and Super Fang is really interesting. Icy Wind is a really good move. I believe that it learns Aurora Veil. Yeah. So if our Vanillux can't set up Aurora Veil, we could just run Aurora Veil on Arctovish. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, it gets a lot of really cool moves. I don't know why we would ever Rain Dance. That sounds kind of stupid, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe we want the rain. I don't know why we would want rain on the team that I drafted, but you never know. You never know. So yeah, that's Arctovish. The next Pokemon I drafted was Vanillux because obviously I had to secure my Hail setter. Because I wasn't expecting somebody else to draft Hail, to be honest. Like, straight up, I drafted Arctovish, and then somebody right after me drafted Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash, which is kind of nuts. We got Vanillux. The most common set I see with Vanillux is Choice Scarf, Blizzard, and it hits really hard. I think Vanillux's special attack stat is like super high. Yeah, 110 is a really good special attack stat. So that might be a set that we use in the beginning, but it has a lot of options. It also gets Aurora Veil, which you can set up with Choice Scarf. You should just switch out. I've run Choice Scarf Ninetales in Sun and Moon, actually. It's not bad. It gets Ice Shard to trigger weakness policies on some future Pokemon we might see. So that's really good. It gets Taunt. I feel like so many things get Taunt that I don't know why they get Taunt. Like, why does this Ice Cream Cone get Taunt? It's not like Dark type or anything. It gets Ally Switch. It gets Icy Wind as well. Yeah, it's got some moves. I don't personally. I think for the role that I would like out of a Hail Setter, I don't like it as much as Alolan Ninetales. But I think Vanillux is the higher tiered Hail Setter because it hits crazy hard. Right, next up we have Luxray. I needed an Intimidator. I didn't want to spend money on Incineroar. I probably could have, to be honest. But I didn't feel like spending the money on Incineroar, so I went for a Luxray. I really like Luxray. It's actually one of my first favorite Pokemon when I was playing through Gen 4. It was on my team. I had my Luxray. It was great. I have a shiny Luxray, so that'll be fun. I'm pretty sure it's a legit shiny Luxray. I got it as a surprise trade, but it doesn't have like a website as its name, so like that's cool. Anyway, Luxray has a lot of cool options. We get Volt Switch, which we're not like super fast, but we're like okay fast. If we're running like Choice Band or Scarf, Volt Switch is just a good option for switching out because we don't get U-Turn. We also get Wild Charge, which is just our best physical move. Luxray is usually physical, but it can run special moves. It gets Light Screen, which is so many weird things just get Light Screen or Reflect and not both. Throat Chop's really good. Psychic Fangs is really good. Quick Attack could be good in like a pinch. What else do we got? Baby Doll Eyes is a great move. I have run Baby Doll Eyes on stuff, and it's so... because it's +1 priority, so like it's so good. It gets Eerie Impulse, which is really nice. An Intimidator with Eerie Impulse. It gets Fake Tears, Helping Hand. Howl is a really good move. Swagger can be useful conditionally. Yeah, so it gets a lot of cool stuff. That's why I drafted it. I really like Luxray as Intimidate. It also has the option of Rivalry, which I don't think we'll ever run. We have the option of Guts, and Guts is really cool. We can like self-burn ourselves, and then our attacks just do a ton of damage. My next pick was Weevile. I did need a Surf Pokemon to trigger Colossal, so I ended up drafting Weevile. I drafted 3 Ice types. Isn't that crazy? Weevile's really cool. I've used it before. I used it in not Sun and Moon, but I used it. Did I use it in Sun and Moon? No, I used Weevil the Weevile. That's the one that I have. I'm probably just going to use that one. I used it in X and Y, and it was just like fake out support with like ice type coverage. But yeah, it gets Surf, it gets Fake Out, Beat Up. Triple Axle I think is now its best ice type move, although you could make an argument that Icicle Crash is still better. And it gets just a lot of support moves. We get Foul Play, which is really nice. Ice Shard for triggering weakness policies potentially. Nasty Plot is kind of a weird move for it to get. I feel like its special attack is super low. Swords Dance. Offensive Weevile can be really scary because of Pickpocket. So what you can do is you can give Weevile a weakness policy and then trigger it. And then as long as you trigger it with a contact move, your weakness policy gets used, and then Pickpocket activates, and you can take like a Life Orb off of your partner, and Weevile just hits so hard, and it's so fast. That might be something we use later on. We got Taunt, Throat Chop. What else do we got? We got Fake Tears is really good. On a fast Pokemon like this, it's even better. Feint is a really good move. Sneaky good move. I've used it on Hitmontop a bunch of times. It's super good. Icy Wind is always good. Speed Control is something that you need. Snarl is a really good move for lowering special attacks, which could be actually really useful next to Colossal, because if they have, say, like something that only just barely knocks out Colossal with a water type move, like for instance, there are a lot of max geysers that will take behind a light screen, and setting up a Snarl is basically the same thing. So yeah, Weevile is really solid. It's really, really fast. It actually is a really good attack stat too. So we can use it offensively, but most of the time we'll probably just support Colossal. We have Arcanine. I drafted 3 Intimidate Pokemon, if you can see the Salamons. But 2 of them I will not use Intimidate on most of the time, I think. I drafted Arcanine because I was thinking, oh, we have Weevile. We have the option of using Beat Up, which is a move I didn't talk about on Weevile. We have the option of using Beat Up. So the set that I have here is like a justified Beat Up set. But we also have the option of going for Intimidate or Flash Fire if we really want to, although I don't think we'd ever need it. But Intimidate or Justify we're going to use most of the time. And Arcanine's attack stat is pretty good. Its special attacks is also pretty good. So I think on an Intimidate set, I'd rather use a special attacker a lot of the time. But we have some really good coverage moves. We have Extreme Speed, which is just fantastic. Base 80 plus 2 priority is stupid good. It gets close combat. It gets a lot of fire type moves that are really good. Flare Blitz is probably the best one if we're running a physical set. We get Iron Head. We get Morning Sun, which is kind of dumb because with Colossal, we'll just set up the Sun all the time. So if you are running Intimidate Arcanine, Morning Sun will be great. It gets Wild Charge, which is really good coverage. Scorching Sands is really good on a special set. We get Psychic Fangs. It has really good type coverage for whatever I need. Will-O-Wisp is also a really good move. We probably get Burning Jealousy, right? No, we do not get Burning Jealousy. That's interesting. Outrage, for some reason? Why does Arcanine get Outrage? I don't know, but if there's a Dragon-heavy team out there, we got it. Roar is kind of good. You can make things switch out. It doesn't work on Dynamax Pokemon, unfortunately. But it can still be good. It probably doesn't get Toxic anymore, unless it learns it by leveling up, but I don't think so, because Toxic is no longer a TM. Bulldoze, for triggering weakness policies, I don't think we have anything that wants to get the weakness policy triggered by Bulldoze. Maybe if we're running like Luxray or something, that could be neat. What else? Helping Hand, Howl are both really good moves. Leer is like, it lowers both Pokemon's defense, which is kind of neat. Scary Face, another Pokemon with Scary Face. Snarl. Yeah, it gets like just lots of good stuff. Arcanine's a good Pokemon overall. I think if Incineroar wasn't such a big thing, Arcanine would be a really good Intimidate option. Next up, we drafted Salamons. I wanted a flying type because I just feel like it's good to have a flying type on a Colossal team, and I wanted a flying type that didn't share a ton of weaknesses with Colossal. So like we're weak to Rock still, but like the rest of our team, I actually have a lot of Pokemon weak to Rock. Oof. It'll be fine. We have Rillaboom. It'll be okay. And Urshafu. I don't know. I was just thinking about it, and I didn't share too many weaknesses with the rest of my team except for Rock type weakness. But apparently everything that I like is weak to Rock. So I was just thinking, you know what? Let's just go Salamons. We have Moxie, but we also have the option of Intimidate. These are both really, really good abilities. If we want, we could bring Weakness Policy Salamence and trigger it with, you know, one of those 5 Ice Shard Pokemon we have, and get the Weakness Policy set up, and then Moxie will increase our attack stat even more. With the option of increasing our speed with Max Airstream, it is probably really overwhelming and just can sweep things. So it'll depend on who we're playing, but if we find our opponent unawares, it'll be really good. Outrage is our highest physical move. I just kind of picked it. I feel like we get Snarl too. Hurricane is really good. Special Salamence can also be an option. Let's see here. I feel like we get Snarl. We get Breaking Swipe, which is really good. For just lowering attack stats, I like to run Breaking Swipe on Dracozolt and Dragapult. So another Pokemon with Scary Face. Everything gets Scary Face. It's crazy. Do we not get Snarl? I really thought that I got Snarl. Huh. That's not why I didn't draft it for Snarl. I was just thinking about it right now, and I was like, it probably gets Snarl. It doesn't. Wow. That's crazy. Giga Impact can be really cool on a Dynamax set. But yeah, it's just an Intimidate Pokemon or a Sweeper. You'll notice a lot of our support Pokemon also have the option of being sweepers if we need them to, which is really nice because we can really catch our opponent off guard with what we're doing. The next Pokemon I drafted was Meowstick. I had enough points to draft Grimmsnarl, but there's one really important thing that I wanted from Meowstick and why I decided to keep it, and that is Trick Room. Grimmsnarl does not get Trick Room. Meowstick gets Trick Room. So if we need a Trick Room setter, we have Meowstick. You'll see we have Happaud, so that might be kind of important. Or Colossal can function really well in Trick Room if you don't set up Steam Engine. But yeah, it just gets a lot of really good moves. In fact, it has a lot of the same moves that Grimmsnarl has. So we have Light Screen, we have Reflect. It's one of the few Prankster users that gets both. I want to say in Sword and Shield that Grimmsnarl and Meowstick are the only ones that get both. Oh, and Klefki. Klefki gets both. We have Sucker Punch we could use if we like change up our draft and we draft something weak to trigger weakness policy. It gets Yawn, and Priority Yawn sounds really dumb. We get Ally Switch, which is nice. If we need it. Charm is really good on a Prankster Pokemon. Attract could be funny because we'll always be male, and I don't know, maybe we'll be able to watch some other people's matches and see that they're female. We got Fake Tears, Helping Hand. Imprison is a really good move. Quick Guard is great. Rain Dance if we need it. We get all the rooms, I think. We get Trigger Wonder Room. We don't get all the rooms. We don't have the... Do we have the third room? Well, I don't remember what it is. Skill Swap on Priority is really good. Potentially Roleplay can be really good. Steam Engine Meowstick, that'd be really funny. Wait a minute. Hold on. Skill Swap into Colossal and then Priority Tar Shot? Ooh, that sounds kind of spicy, to be honest. Oh, it gets Fake Out, too, which is really nice. Fake Out's just really good support. Here I am, just, like, thinking things. Priority Substitute's also pretty good. Trick is a really good move. We have a lot of options, as you can see. And the last Pokemon I drafted is Happaud. We had to bring the Hippo Power. I really just didn't know what to pick, so I picked Happaud, to be honest. But I wanted a ground type that was kind of leading me towards that way. And then with the Trick Room option now on Meowstick, Happaud becomes a really good option because after a Curse, we underspeed everything. I don't think anybody drafted a slow team anyway. So, like, I don't think anybody drafted Glacier unless I wasn't paying attention. But Happaud can either be really bulky and just kind of not die, or as we've seen with my videos with the weakness policy of Happaud, it can be very offensive and then still be very hard to kill. But it gets a lot of really good moves. Our coverage is actually really good. We get Yawn, which is great on a bulky support set. I also like running Sand on Colossal teams occasionally because you increase your special defense. So again, it's kind of the same thing where you set up the light screen or lower your opponent's special attack. Getting the Sand up might help you take a max geyser, so you don't even have to set up your own Steam Engine. They'll set it up for you, and then you'll be faster, and you'll hit them twice before they can hit you. It's really nice. It gets the stockpile spit up swallow combo, which is really cool. It gets Sunny Day for some reason. I don't know why we would ever run that on Happaud. Muddy Water is very interesting. I didn't know it got Muddy Water. Mud Shot's a cool move. Lowers speed. If we want to get gimmicky and run one-hit KO moves, we can. Whirlwind is neat. Yeah, so we have a lot of options. So that's my draft. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And then let's look at our opponent for next week. I'm pretty sure that it is Roar? The Roaring Sandstorms? Yes. So you can see they drafted a rain team. Kind of. I think a couple people drafted rain. They drafted a rain team, so they bring the rain team against our Colossal team. I would assume that's what they're going to do. We have a lot of options to actually deal with that, I think. So we'll be okay. And then nothing on their team besides the rain really wants to deal with Colossal. So I feel like we're going to be okay. Yeah, literally nothing on their team wants to deal with Colossal except for the rain. And that includes our Rhyperior because we can run Max Grass. Yeah. So yeah, that's my team. That's the opponent I'm facing next week. Let me know what you think of my team. Let me know, I don't know, give me some crazy strategies to run next week. Maybe I'll try them out. With that, my name is Andrew, and I will catch y'all next time.